fan on it, it'll get warmer if more people come.
Rotate over. Thank you for coming. Meeting him is important, not me.
But at least we hosted this meeting.
We'll put it down. Yeah, it's good. No, it's not. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Hare Krishna.
On behalf of ISKCON of Atlanta, we welcome all of you for this final session with His Grace Gauranga on Krishna's Lila. After having discussed the Mahima, the glories of Krishna Nam, Krishna Roop, Krishna Guna, today Krishna Lila. So is everybody excited?
Haribol!
For blessing us with her presence. Thank you, Mataji, for being here.
Haribol!
I request His Grace Gauranga to start. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
जय
यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरवनचारी यमुनातीरवनचारी
His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki Braja Bhumi Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Purushottama Kshetra Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki Ganga Mai ki Yamuna Mai ki Bhakti Devi ki Tulasi Devi ki Shri Gopal Harinama Sankirtan ki Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya
Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Tadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Radhakamanam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahajana Radhanathamitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Radha Saha राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Yeah, for my humble obeisances and to all the devotees who are assembled here today, I seek blessings from Her Grace Gita Mataji, who is here with us today. With your permission, I will begin this last session on Krishna's Lila.
Hare.
We have been discussing Krishna's Nama, Rupa and Guna in the last 3 days. So today we will discuss a little bit about the Lila of the Lord. Krishna's Leelas are most enchanting. And Krishna performs so many Leelas in so many forms, in different avatars. But of all the Leelas, Krishna's pastimes as a Gopal, as a cowherd boy in Vrindavan Dham are considered most enchanting and very sweet. But before entering into the sweetest Vraja Leelas of Krishna, let us discuss the significance of any pastime of Krishna. Why Krishna descends on this planet? Why Krishna performs various pastimes? In the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the sages of Naimisharanya requested Suta Goswami to explain the reason for Krishna's descent as the child of Devaki and Vasudeva. Then Suta Goswami said, Lord Krishna descended as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva to reclaim the conditioned souls, especially those who have managed to come to mode of goodness. To reclaim the souls in the mode of goodness, the Lord appears. And as all of you know, Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. The Lord also descends on this planet to protect the righteous, to punish the vicious, and to establish dharma. So, further, Kunti Maharani also describes the purpose of Lord's descent. Bhavesmin klishya bhadanam avidya kama karmabhi shravana smaranarhani karishyan iti kechana. Bhavesmin klishya bhadanam. In this material world, so many people are undergoing so many kleshas, so many difficulties, so many sufferings. Why? Avidya, because of their ignorance. That avidya leads to kama. Due to ignorance, they have so many material desires. And kama leads to karma. Because of material desires, they perform material activities. And karma leads to klesha. Because of material activities, there are material reactions and suffering. To terminate this cycle and to rejuvenate the process of bhakti, Krishna appears. Avidya kama karma bhihi shravana smarana arhani karishyan iti kechana. He wanted to introduce this process of shravana, smarana, arhana, hearing about the Lord, remembering the Lord, and worshipping the Lord. And this the Lord descends. So the Lord descends to reclaim the living entities. The Lord descends to spread the process of devotional service. And more importantly, the Lord descends to perform so many sweet pastimes with His devotees. That's most exciting to Krishna. To perform loving pastimes with His devotees is more exciting to Krishna. Creation, destruction, punishing miscreants, establishing the dharma all are there. But most exciting for Krishna is to perform enchanting pastimes with his devotees. So the 10th canto Bhagavatam, Rasa Panchadhyay, concludes with this beautiful shloka. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham dehamashritah bhajate tadrishihi kridam yah shrutva tatparo bhavet anugrahaya bhaktanam, to show anugraha on his devotees. Manusham dehamashritah, the Lord appears as a human being on this planet, Rama, Krishna. Bhajate tadrishi kridaha, krida means pastimes. Yaha shrutva tatparo bhavet. When you worship the Supreme Lord Krishna, bhajate, and also tadrishi krida yaha shrutva, when you hear his enchanting pastimes, tatparo bhavet, we become more dedicated to him. We develop love towards him. We develop a mode of surrender to him by hearing his enchanting Leelas. That's why Krishna enacts Leelas to induce a feeling of surrender within us. Bhajate tadrishi krida yaha shrutva tatparo bhavet. So we have to hear them. As the first canto of Bhagavatam says, why did Vyasadeva compile Srimad Bhagavatam? What is the purpose of hearing or studying Srimad Bhagavatam? Yasyam vaisruyamanayam Krishne paramapurushi bhaktirutpadyate pumsah shokam moha bhayapaha. Yasyam vaisruyamanayam, by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishne paramapurushe bhaktirutpadyate, we develop a feeling of devotion, bhakti unto Krishna. Love for Krishna is developed by hearing Bhagavatam. And shoka, moha, bhaya, lamentation, fear, illusion will automatically go away. That's a byproduct. But hearing Srimad Bhagavatam that describes the enchanting Leelas of Krishna will enhance our love for Krishna. Thus we can transcend the illusions and fears and lamentation of this material world and rise to a spiritual platform. So Krishna has a great kingdom of spiritual world where so many devotees are lovingly serving him. You see, if you go to Vaikuntha, what's happening in Vaikuntha? Vaimanika salalanas charitani shashvat gayanti yatra shamalaha kshapanani bhartuhu antarjalenu vikasan madhumadhavinam gandhena khandita dhiyopyanilam kshipantaha. Vaimanika salalana, all the Vishnu Parshadas, all the Vishnu Dutas, they have their own private airplanes. And their Hemamayir Vimanaihi, their golden airplanes bedecked with so many expensive gems. So these Vaikuntha-vasis are traveling in those airplanes along with their consorts and doing what? They are glorifying Krishna. They are chanting the holy names of Krishna and discussing Krishna's pastimes, Lord Hari's pastimes. Antarjalenu vikasan madhumadhavinam. As they are flying in the airplanes, the fragrance emanating from the Madhu-Madhavi flowers that are nicely blooming in the water reservoirs of Vaikuntha, that fragrance enters their nostrils. They think that, oh, this fragrance is disturbing us from our Harikatha. Of course, that is spiritual fragrance. But still, they are not interested in enjoying the fragrance. They are interested in glorifying Lord Hari. That's how, without any deviation, without any distraction, with complete focus, with complete dedication, without any material miseries, the Vaikuntha-vasis are glorifying Krishna and serving Krishna. Why Krishna has to come to this material world? if he has so many loving devotees serving him with so much dedication, what is the need for Krishna to descend on this material planet? Here there are so many people who are not worshipping Krishna, not loving Krishna, they are not even acknowledging his presence. Krishna himself says in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Mudhas, Namam Dushkritano Mudha Prapadyante Naradhamaha. When I appear in a human form of life, there are so many people who consider my human form as ordinary, who consider my descent as ordinary. They hate me. Some people say God doesn't exist. Some people say God is dead. Some people say I am God. Some people say God is light. Some people say God is love. Some people say God is compassion, humanity. Some people say God is poor people. Poor man is God. Daridra Narayan. So different people have different conceptions about God. But still, to reclaim all these conditioned souls, Krishna is descending from the spiritual world. How merciful he is. When somebody has 100 branches in a company, 99 branches are performing well, one branch is only incurring losses. And the employees are fighting with each other. They are hating the boss. Whenever the boss goes there, they try to attack the boss, blaspheme the boss, scold him, blame him. The boss would conveniently close down that branch. But our supreme boss, Krishna, wouldn't close the branch. He would descend into the branch in hundreds of incarnations. Purushavatas, Lila avatars, Guna avatars, Manvantra avatars, Shaktiavesh avatars. He appears in so many avatars to perform so many pastimes and attract our attention towards him and induce some inspiration within us to reconnect with him, to go back to him. That's the purpose of Krishna's descents. Whatever Leelas he is doing, he can do it in the spiritual world. But in the material world, Krishna's Leelas are specifically meant to attract his conditioned souls, who are averse to a sense of subordination towards him. Janasya Krishna, Vimukhasya Daivat. They have turned their faces away from Krishna. However, is that the only purpose of Krishna's descent? No. Attracting the conditioned souls towards spiritual world and inducing them to perform bhakti is definitely a very important purpose of Krishna's descent. But Krishna also enacts his Leelas as a human being, especially in the material world, to experience loving exchanges with his pure-hearted devotees. Because if Krishna alone comes in this world amidst all conditioned souls, it's a bit austerity for Krishna. When he descends, he also brings some of his eternal associates also. Yashoda Mata comes, Nanda Maharaj comes, before he appears. Before he appears as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jagannath Mishra, Sachi Mata, Advaitacharya, so many such devotees come. The Lord comes along with his descendants and he has his own special exchanges. With Yashoda Mata he does the Damodar Lila. With the gopis he does Rasa Lila. With the gopas he would just jump like frogs and dance like peacocks, steal each other's lunch bags and steal butter from other gopis' homes. So he has his own entourage, he has his own companions, eternal associates with whom he performs pastimes also. Apart from attracting the attention of conditioned souls. He has his own pleasure, spiritual pleasure. But as an extra austerity, the Lord also orchestrates Kurukshetra war, kills demons, does the Srishti Lila. He's excited with Rasa Lila, but he does Srishti Lila also. But both Leelas have to be performed. Some for the conditioned souls, some for the spiritual, some for eternal associates. So, in connection with the conditioned souls, the Lord is very compassionate and is compassionately manifesting all these Leelas. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manushim deham ashritaha. Ya bhukti lakshmir bhuvika mukhanam.
Ya bhukti lakshmir bhuvika mukhanam.
Ya mukti lakshmir hridiyoga bhajam.
Ya mukti lakshmir hridiyoga bhajam.
Ya nanda lakshmi rasikendra mauleha.
Ya nanda lakshmi rasikendra mauleha.
Sa kapi lila लीलावतु माधवस्य
सा कापि लीलावतु माधवस्य
या bhuktilakshmirбhuvi कामुकानां. There are kamukas in this world. Means those are filled with so many material desires, hedonists. Ya bhukti lakshmi bhuri kamukanam. They aspire for bhukti. These kamuka materialistic people, they aspire for a lot of material enjoyment, bhukti. Then ya mukti lakshmi hridi yoga bhajam. There are some yogis. They are from Ashtanga yoga. They want mukti lakshmi, the opulence of liberation. These first category people, they want the opulence of material enjoyment. Yananda lakshmi rasikendra maulehi. There are some Rasikendra Maulehi, they are enjoyers. They are not Bhuvi Bhavika, Rasika Bhu Bhavika, they are different. There are other Rasikas who take pleasure in some nectar, drinking nectar. Sa kapi lila avatu madhavasya. The pleasure available in Lord Madhava's leelas surpasses the pleasure that is accessible to Kamukas, Yogabhajas and Rasikendra Maulis also. Right? So, the pleasure of Krishna's pastimes would effortlessly surpass the pleasure available in material enjoyment, liberation, and drinking nectar also. It is a different nectar. Parasparam tad gunavada sidhu piyusha niryapita deha dharma. Devotees sit together. Parasparam tad gunavada sidhu. They drink the nectar of Krishna's leelas. Piyusha niryapita deha dharma. Krishna Katha has some Krishna Leelas and Krishna Katha in general has the effect of an intoxicant, has the effect of nectar both. Nectar is enjoyable. Intoxicant has a different effect. Somebody drinks intoxicant and he goes into a different planet only. And is totally transcendental to what's happening around him. Right? I have no experience in this lifetime. But when somebody drinks alcohol or whatever, material intoxicant, then they become totally oblivious. To the degree they drink this intoxicant, to that degree they become oblivious to the surroundings. Similarly, to the degree a devotee drinks the real intoxicating beverage of Hari Krishna, Hari Katha, Hari Lila, then they become transcendental to all temptations and tribulations in this material world. They are unaffected by all the comments made by people. You know that shloka? Chittam naiva nivartate kshanamapi Sri Krishna pada bhujan Nindantu priya bandhava gurujana Grihnantu munchantu vam Durvadam parighoshayantu manuja Vamshe kalankostu va Tadrik premadharanu raga madhuna Mattayamanam tumi Mattai. Let my mind not get deviated from meditation on Krishna's lotus feet even for a moment. Chittam naiva nivartate kshanamapi Sri Krishna pada bhujan Nindantu priya bandhava. Let my own relatives accuse me, criticize me. Grihanantu munchantu. Let them accept me or reject me. Prahlad Maharaj's own relatives, his own father was chastising him, criticizing him. But Prahlad says, no, I will not give up attachment to the lotus feet of the Lord. Durvadam parighoshayantu manuja vamshe kalankostu va. Durvadam, let there be gossip that spread about me. Vamshe kalankostu va. Let people blame that I am bringing some bad name to our dynasty. Shanda and Amarka told Prahlad, you are bringing a great bad name to our dynasty. Our dynasty, Rakshasa dynasty, is like a sandalwood forest. And Vishnu is like an axe. You are like the handle of the axe. You are cutting down the dynasty of Rakshasas. Let them criticize. What difference does it make? Tatrik prema dharanu raga madhuna mattayamanam tume. By drinking the nectar of Krishna's love that's available to us, by hearing Hari Katha, by getting intoxicated by Hari Katha, I become oblivious to all these comments and criticism and blasphemy and blames. Okay. So, a devotee is not deprived of any enjoyment. In fact, devotee has a higher taste. So, all these lower sources of enjoyment are not considered as enjoyment by a devotee only, because they are getting intoxicated by hearing Krishna's Leelas. He says, Mukundamala Sutra, again, Kulashekara Albert says, Nathe dhadari bhogi bhoga shayane narayane madhave.
Nathe dhatri bhogi bhoga shayane narayane madhave.
Deve devaki nandane suravare chakrayudhe sangini.
Deve devaki nandane suravare chakrayudhe sangini.
Lila sesha jagat prapancha jathare vishveshware Shridhare.
Lila sesha jagat prapancha jathare vishveshware Shridhare.
Govinde kuru chitta vritti vachalam anyaistu kim vartanaihi.
Govinde guru chitta vritti vachalam anyaistu kim vartanaihi.
Nathe dhatari bhogi bhoga shayane. That Natha, the Supreme Lord, bhogi bhoga shayane, is a dhata, is a creator, is the maintainer, and he sleeps on this great snake bed, Ananta Sesha bed. Bhogi bhoga shayane, narayane madhave, deve devaki nandane suravare chakrayudhe sangini. He is Devaki Nandana. He is the best of all gods, and he has this chakrayudha, he has Sangadhanva, and also, this is the main point. Lila sesha jagat prapancha jathare vishveshware Shridhare. Lila sesha, he performs unlimited pastimes. As Purushavasaras, jagat prapancha jathare, this entire universe came from his womb, from his bodily pores, and he expands himself as Garbhodakasa Vishnu to each of those Brahmandas, and he manifests the entire planetary systems. Then within those planets he appears in various forms. Tiryan Rishishu Yadashu Tadakyanta Vedampana. He appears as animals sometimes, he appears as human beings sometimes, he appears amongst the devatas sometimes, he appears amongst the aquatic sometimes. Lila Sesha, unlimited pastimes, in unlimited incarnations. Just count how many Yugavataras are there in one day of Brahma. 1000 Yuga cycles. Means 4000 Yuga avatars. How many Manvantara avatars? 40 Manvantara avatars. There are 3 Guna avatars and 3 Purusha avatars clear. Unlimited Lila avatars. So many Shakti avatars. Within one day of Brahma. And how many such incarnations are there within 1 month of Brahma, 1 year of Brahma, 100 years of Brahma? And if you take other great Brahmandas into consideration, how many incarnations, how many more incarnations are there? And all these incarnations exhibit their Leelas for one breathing period of Mahavishnu. When he inhales, this is closed. When he exhales, again, all the incarnations are manifested. How many times? Lila Sesha Jagat Prapancha Jathare Vishveshware Shridhare Govinde Kuru Chitta Vritti Vachalam Anyaistu Kim Vartanaihi. So let us focus our chitta only on Govinda by absorbing our minds in the finer glances of the Leelas and the wonderful insights and lessons that these Leelas are revealing to us, and all the nectar that is inherently present, intrinsically present in those Leelas. So that is life. To get absorbed in the Leelas of Krishna is life. That's what Prahlad Maharaj is praying for. Soham priyasya suhrudah paradevataya.
Soham priyasya suhrudah paradevataya.
Lila kathastava nrisimha virincha gita.
Lila kathastava nrisimha virincha gita.
Agnastitarmya nigrinan gunavipramukto.
Agnastitarmya gunavipramukto.
Durgani te padayugalaya hamsa sangha.
Durgani te padayugalaya hamsa sangha.
Soham priyasya suhrudah paradevataya. Oh my dear Narasimhadev. You know what is my desire? Lila kathas tavanrasimha virincha gita. I just want to absorb my mind in your Lila katha. And somebody is narrating your enchanting pastimes. I just want to hear the pastimes and absorb myself. Tavanrasimha virincha gita. He says virinchi. Virinchi is Brahma. Brahma could not offer prayers to Narasimhadev and pacify him. Not only Brahma, so many great devatas are there. When Lord Narasimhadev killed Hiranyakashipu, so many devatas tried to pacify him by offering prayers. Vidyadharas, Charanas, Kinnaras, Kimpurushas, Vishnu Parshadas, Manus, Brahmarshis, Rajarshis, Devarshis, Nagas. So many people offered prayers. 7th canto, 8th chapter is filled with those prayers. Nobody could manage to pacify Narasimhadev. Then Brahma came to Prahlad and said, Prahlad, can you go and pacify Narasimhadev? So Prahlad took that opportunity and went in front of the Lord with absolutely no pride. The first word that came out of his mouth is Brahma. Brahma failed to appease you, and I am here to appease you, to pray, to praise you, to pacify you, to control your anger. See, I am doing some activity which all the devatas and sages failed to do. Still Prahlad had absolutely no pride. Brahmadayasura gana munayotha siddha sattvaikatanagatyo vachasam pravahaihi Naradhitum puruganer adhunapi pipru kim toshtumarhati same harirugrajate. Brahma failed, all the Suraganas failed, and Munayo atha siddha, great sages failed, siddhas, perfected beings failed. And what is their qualification? Sattvaikatanagatyo. They are too much in goodness, and I am a Ugrajati person. I am a person from the demonic dynasty, and I am too much into ignorance and passion. I don't have the sattva that they have. On top of it, they are vachasam pravahahi. Their words are just flowing like pravaha. Seamless flow of words. They are not getting stuck everywhere, searching for words. Vachasam pravahahi. They are extremely eloquent. But they could not please you. I don't have eloquence. How can I please you? So, very humbly he established himself in an inferior position compared to where Brahma stands. Just because we are asked to do some privileged service, we cannot think we are so qualified. Just because others are not doing this service and they are asking us to do this service, that does not mean they are not qualified. When we do that service, thinking that we are qualified, then something wrong in our basic understanding of Vaishnavism. Devotees encourage us to do this service. They bless us. They empower us. Without their merciful glances, we won't be able to do this service. Right? So, Prahlad had this complete understanding. No pride. Now, few slokas down the line, he says this. Soham priyasya suhrudah paradevataya Lila kathastava nrisimha virincha gitaha. Virincha gitaha. Brahma praised you. Brahma offered you prayers. I want to follow in the footsteps of Brahma and praise you. So Brahma failed to pacify me. How can you follow in his footsteps? See, Narasimhadev is not questioning. Narasimhadev is very happy with the humility of Prahlad. So our praising of the Leelas of the Lord must be in line with the great Acharyas. If we think we can praise the Lord, we can explain the Lord's pastimes better than what Acharyas have done, that's an illusion. We are representatives of Acharyas. When we are describing Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila or whatever, we are a humble representative of Acharyas, not replacement for the Acharyas. We are not here to substitute them, but as a subordinate to them, let's transmit the transcendental knowledge that they have given us. Lila kathastava nrisimha virincha gita. So I want to absorb my mind in your Lila Katha by following the footsteps of the Acharyas. So without reference to our glorious Vaishnava Acharyas, our meditation on Leelas, our discussion on Leelas could be at the best speculation. So we don't want to speculate, we want to follow. There can be realizations, no problem. But in line with the Acharya's teachings, we can think out of the box, we can read between lines, but in line with the parampara. That's what he says. Lila kathastava nrisimha virincha gita. Next. What is the effect of absorbing our minds in the Lila Katha of the Lord? यत्रेड्यन्ते कथामृष्टाः
यत्रेड्यन्ते कथामृष्टाः
कृष्णायाः प्रशमो यतः
कृष्णाया प्रशमो यतः
निर्वैरं यत्र भूतेषु
निर्वैरं यत्र भूतेषु
नोद्वेगो यत्र कश्चन
नोद्वेगो यत्र कश्चन
यत्र नारायणः साक्षात्
यत्र नारायणः साक्षात्
भगवान् यासिनां गतिः
भगवान् यासिनां गतिः
संस्तूयते सत्कथासु
संस्तूयते सत्कथासु
मुक्तसङ्गैः पुनः पुनः
मुक्तसङ्गैः पुनः पुनः.
These are the prayers of Prachetas. Prahlad said, I want to praise your Lila Katha, following the footsteps of Acharyas. What Prachetas is saying? We are also inclined to praise your Katha or hear someone who is praising your Leelas. What is the effect of doing that? Yatredyante Katha Mrishtaha. Wherever devotees gather together and absorbing their minds in Krishna's Leela Katha, Trishnayaha prasamo yatha. First effect of that is all Trishnas are destroyed. When we absorb our minds in Krishna, there is no Trishna. Trishna means hankering to enjoy in a material plane. Krishna is the all-attractive Supreme Lord. When we focus our mind on Krishna, there is no Trishna. Without Trishna, we can absorb our minds in Krishna better. But to eliminate the Trishna in our hearts, we have to hear Krishna Katha. With lot of Trishnas in the heart, we hear Krishna Katha. Then Trishnas are removed by Krishna. He enters the ear, right? Pravishtaha karnarandhrena svanam bhavasarodham dhunoti shamaram Krishna. He will remove all Trishnas and anarthas. Then with that purified heart, we can release Krishna Katha even better. Right? So, he says, Trishnayaha prasamoyatha. What is that shloka in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam? निवृत्ततर्षैर उपगीयमान भवौषधात् श्रोत्रमनोभिरामात् का उत्तम श्लोक गुणानुवादात् पुमान् विरज्येत विना पशुघ्नात्. निवृत्ततर्षैर means one who is completely devoid of all material hankerings can glorify Krishna's Leela Katha, can release Krishna's Leela Katha. They are saying Krishnayaha prasamo yatha. First effect is our material hankerings are destroyed. Second, nirvairam yatra bhuteshu. Nirvairam means absolutely no envy. Who can relish Krishna Katha? One who has no envy. Non-envy is the qualification to understand Bhagavad Gita. That's what Krishna said. Itam tute guhyatamam pravakshyam yanasuyavi. We are anasuyavi. We have no envy. Therefore I am teaching Bhagavad Gita to you. Bhagavatam, nirmatsaranam satam vedyam. Bhagavatam is understandable to people who have no envy in the heart. How to destroy that envy? Yatredyante kathamrishtaha. Absorb your mind in Krishna Katha. Then nirvairam yatra bhuteshu will become non-envious. No dvego yatra kaschana. Na udvega. Third effect is there is no anxiety. First effect is no material hankerings. Second effect is no envy. Third effect is no anxieties, no fears in the heart. Why? Yatra narayanaha sakshat bhagavan yasinam gati. Because wherever devotees are gathering and discussing Krishna Katha, Bhagavan Nyasinam Gati, Narayana, that Narayana who is the object of all Nyasis, Sannyasis, he will sit there. Prabhupada quotes in this purports, Prachetas purports. He says, Yatra Gayanti Madbhakta Tatra Tishtami Narada. Prabhupada quotes this shloka. Wherever devotees are gathering together to discuss Krishna Katha, Krishna Leelas, Narayana also sits there. Krishna also sits there. Yamaraj also sits there. People will not die. Right? RSVP, there is Yamaraj also there. So, in all Zoom calls, extra login is Yamaraj. Invisible login. He gets Zoom link. You don't have to send him on WhatsApp. So, yatra Narayana sakshat bhagavan yasinangati samstuyate satkathasu mukta sangaihi punaha punaha. He will release us from all kinds of material misgivings. So this is the effect of getting absorbed in Krishna Leelas. The gopis of Vrindavan, they say. 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is considered the essence. Yesterday we saw one essence, Bhagavad Gita's essence. Essence of the essence of the essence of the essence of the essence, right? Gita is the essence of all scriptures. Sarvopanishado Gavo. Essence of Gita is Bhakti Yoga. Essence of Bhakti Yoga is middle two chapters. Essence of middle two chapters is Manmana Bhava Madbhakto. Essence of that is always remember Krishna. This is another essence. Bhagavatam is the essence of all scriptures. Within the Bhagavatam, 10th canto is the essence. Within the 10th canto, the Rasa Panchadhyaya is the essence. Within the Rasa Panchadhyaya, the middle chapter, there are 5 chapters, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Within this, the middle chapter, which is Gopi Gita, is even more essential. Within that Gopi Gita that has about 18, 19 shlokas, the 9th shloka is very exciting. This is where Pratap Rudra Maharaj could completely capture the heart of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by singing this shloka. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam
Kaviriditam kalmashapanam Shravanamangalam Srimadatam Bhuvi Grantiye Bhuri Rajana.
I heard this Gopi Gita first from His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj. So much absorption he sings. Tava Kathamritam. What is the meaning of Tava Kathamritam? Krishna Katha is of 2 types. Number 1, Katha spoken by Krishna, like Gita, Aruddhava Gita. Katha spoken about Krishna. Many devotees are speaking, Sukadeva Goswami is speaking, even Lord Chaitanya speaks many times. So Katha spoken by Krishna, Katha spoken about Krishna. That is Tava Kathamritam. That is quiz for kids. Okay? Hear carefully. Tava Kathamritam shloka. Tava Kathamritam is 2 types of kathas. Okay? Second, Tapta Jivanam. Tapta means one who is suffering. Jivana means life for them. Krishna Katha is the life of all those who are suffering. Suffering people are of 2 categories. Who are they? Number 1, the conditioned souls suffer because of their ignorance, because of their false ego, because of their material desires. They suffer. That's one category of suffering people. For them, Krishna Katha is Tapta Jivanam. They are one category of Tapta. Their Jivan is Krishna Katha. When you hear Krishna Katha, when you hear Srimad Bhagavatam, the suffering of the conditioned souls is mitigated. You want a proof? Simple. Soham dranam kshulla sukhaya dukkham mahadgatanam viramaya tasya pravartaye bhagavatam puranam yadaha sakshat bhagavan rishibhyah. Soham dranam kshulla sukhaya. Common people in this world, for kshulla sukha, for meager amount of happiness, mahad dukkham, they are experiencing tremendous amount of distress. Is it worth? Kshulla sukhaya mahad dukkham viramaya tasya. To stop this unnecessary, foolish endeavor, pravartaye bhagavatam puranam. The Supreme Lord spoke Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? So Bhagavatam is relevant for conditioned souls also. Suffering, struggling, egoistic conditioned souls can take shelter of Bhagavatam. Because they are in Tapta, Bhagavatam is Jivanam. Krishna Katha is Jivanam for them. Second category of Tapta, suffering souls, are the devotees of Krishna. Elevated devotees of Krishna. They suffer because of their feelings of separation from Krishna. Conditioned souls suffer because they are separated from Krishna. Both are in separation from Krishna. But conditioned souls can't realize that they are in separation from Krishna, can't understand that their suffering is because of their separation from Krishna. 11th canto of Bhagavatam says that if you think that suffering comes because of any other reason other than separation from Krishna, you are an illusion. Real suffering is because of separation from Krishna. Conditioned soul's separation from Krishna is characterized by his false ego, by his forgetfulness of Krishna. But a pure devotee's suffering is characterized by remembrance of Krishna and missing Krishna, missing Krishna's Lilas. So the second category has so many examples. One direct example now is the gopis. We are suffering, we are tapta. Here our jivanam, please come here. When the gopis of Vrindavan are suffering in separation from Krishna, you know what pacified them? What kept them alive? they were meditating on Krishna's pastimes. Not just meditating, they were enacting Krishna's pastimes. One gopi becomes Kaliya, another gopi becomes Krishna and dances on the Kaliya gopi's head. One gopi becomes Putana, another gopi becomes Krishna, and this Krishna gopi will kill Putana gopi. This Lila enacting. One gopi will become maybe Gauranga mountain, another gopi will lift that gopi. Probably. So like that they are absorbing their minds in Krishna Lilas. When Krishna is coiled by Kaliya, like this very tightly, Mother Yashoda is in great anxiety. And Mother Yashoda wanted to jump into this lake, Kaliya lake. Actually, the Gopas were going into the Kaliya lake. Somehow Balram just stopped them. Now, how was Mother Yashoda pacified by other gopis? When she is in great anxiety seeing Krishna's condition, the gopis were chanting Krishna's Leelas. Whenever a devotee, pure devotee is in separation from Krishna, the feelings of separation are kind of mitigated and pacified to some degree at least by meditating on Krishna's Leelas and hearing Krishna's Leelas and discussing Krishna's Leelas. Tapta Jivanam. If you have intense love for Krishna, you are in intense feelings of separation from Krishna as an elevated devotee, what pacifies you is Krishna Katha. If you are in intense suffering as a conditioned soul or a struggling sadhaka, what pacifies is Krishna Katha. Tapta Jivanam. Clear? Tavakatamritam 2. Tapta Jivanam 2 meaning we have seen. Then Kavi Bheditam. Kavi means a poet, literally. Kavi can also mean a very advanced devotee who describes Krishna's pastimes in a poetic manner. Okay. So Kavibhir Yeditam means Krishna Katha is sung by so many poets. Poets are of two types. First poet is ancient poet. Second is contemporary poet. So ancient poets sing Krishna's glories. Contemporary poets also sing Krishna's glories. Why? Ancient poets have already sung, right? Why contemporary poets should sing? There's a reason for it. Contemporary poets sing Krishna Katha, explain Krishna's Leelas in such a way that the contemporary audience will understand. In the beginning of the creation, Krishna spoke Bhagavatam in a second format. 4 shlokas sufficient. Chatushlok. But Brahma spoke that to Narada Muni. And Narada Muni spoke it to Vyasadeva. So as this Bhagavatam is descending through this parampara, from Krishna till us, there are many devotees are involved who expanded and explained Bhagavatam according to the understanding of the contemporary audience. Kasmayena vibhasitoya matulo jnana pradipah pura tadrupena chanaradaya munage krishnaya tadrupena yogindraya tadatmanatha bhagavadrataya karunyaka tatshuddham vimalam vishokam amritam satyam param dhimahi. Satyam param dhimahi. So in the beginning of creation, Krishna spoke to Brahma, Bhagavatam. Brahma spoke Bhagavatam to Narada Muni. In the form of Brahma, Krishna spoke Bhagavatam to Narada Muni. In the form of Narada Muni, Krishna spoke Bhagavatam to Vyasadeva. In the form of Vyasadeva, Krishna spoke Bhagavatam to Sukadeva Goswami. In the form of Sukadeva Goswami, Krishna only spoke Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj and Sutta Goswami. Like that, whoever is speaking Bhagavatam in this parampara, it is Krishna who is speaking because they are all transparently transmitting Krishna's teachings without concocting anything but elaborating something. You don't concoct, but you can elaborate, explain with proper examples. That's what contemporary poets do. Many acharyas have given commentaries, but Prabhupada read all the commentaries, summarized it, and added some more reflections, added some examples from his side for the understanding of local people, and he explained through his commentaries, Bhaktivedanta commentaries. So, contemporary poets are a requirement. Acharyas have given, but many more devotees also should explain what Acharyas have given by preserving the essence and explaining it according to time, place, circumstances to make common people, contemporary people understand. Can someone read this statement? Yours closer can read.
In this regard, Srila Prabhupada writes, Personal realization does not mean that one should, out of vanity, attempt to show one's own learning by trying to surpass the previous Acharya. One must have full confidence in the previous Acharya, and at the same time, one must realize the subject matter so nicely that he can present the matter for the particular circumstances in a suitable manner. The original purpose of the text must be maintained. No obscure meaning should be screwed out of it, yet it should be presented in an interesting manner for the understanding of the audience.
Make it interesting, but don't concoct anything. Innovation is okay, deviation is not okay. Right? So, contemporary poets. So, two kinds of poets. Tava Kathamritam, which are two meanings. Tapta Jivanam, which are two meanings. Kavi Bhiriditam, which are two meanings. Kalma Shapaham, again two meanings. Kalmasha means contamination. Apaham means destroying. So Krishna Katha, description of Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Lila will destroy all contamination. And that Kalmasha is two types. One is the internal contamination of anarthas, aparadhas, so many misgivings, envy, pride, greed, lust. That's internal contamination. Second type is external contamination, Kalimala. There's a lot of contamination in the Kali Yuga, in this material world. Both are destroyed. Just like Bhagavatam is compared to lamp. Lamp can destroy the darkness within a room. Bhagavatam is also compared to sun. Sun can destroy darkness not just within a room, entire hemisphere. So Bhagavatam acts on an individual level, global level also, both ways. So individual level you see, Pravishtaha karna randhrena svanam bhavasaroruham dhunodihamalam krishnaha salilasya yathasharat. So Bhagavatam acts as a purifying agent to purify individual heart. But global level, we can decide this. Evam nishamya bhrugunandana sadhuvadam.
Evam nishamya bhrugunandana sadhuvadam.
Vaiyasaki sa bhagavan atha vishnuratam.
Vaiyasake sa bhagavan atha vishnuratam.
Pratyarcha Krishna charitam kalikalmashaghanam.
Pratyarcha Krishna charitam kalikalmashaghanam.
Vyahartumarabhata bhagavata pradhanah. Vaiyasakischa Bhagavan atha Vishnuratam. Vaiyasaki is Sukadeva Goswami, Vyasadeva son. Vishnurata is Parikshit Maharaj, who is protected by Lord Vishnu within the womb of his mother. So Sukadeva Goswami spoke Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. What is the nature of Bhagavatam? Krishna Charitam Kalikalmashaghanam. The pastimes of Krishna, the topics of Krishna are Kali Kalmashaghanam. They can completely destroy the contamination of Kali Yuga. That's why Kalmashapaham. Avibhiriditam Kalmashapaham. Fifth, Shravana Mangalam. Shravana means hearing. Hear Krishna Katha, Mangalam. It can cause great auspiciousness. How is hearing Krishna Kathamritam auspicious? Again, two reasons. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says this. All these are mentioned in some commentaries. This is Vishnu Chakravarti's point. He says, Krishna Kathamritam makes the final goal, ultimate goal of Krishna Prema attractive and attainable. Sometimes a goal may be very attractive to us, but we don't have the means to attain. We are not capable of attaining it. Sometimes people may endeavor to attain some goals, but they are not satisfied with it. In this material world, there may be attractive goals, but they are not attainable goals. Also, there are some attainable goals, but they may not be attractive in this world. Even if they are attainable and attractive, they are material in nature, in this material world. But we have the ultimate goal, Panchama Purushartha, that is Krishna Prema. When you hear Krishna Katha, Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Lila, that goal of Krishna Prema becomes very attractive to us. Many times people will not even pursue that goal of Krishna Prema because it's not attractive only. If it's not even attractive, how will you endeavor to attain it? But Krishna Katha will do this. Krishna Katha, when a sincere devotee describes the glories of Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Lila, sincerely, in line with the parampara, then the goal of Krishna Prema becomes very attractive to us. It's attractive. How to attain it? Yeah, hear Krishna Katha more and more. So this process of hearing Krishna Katha makes the goal of Krishna Prema attainable also, not only attractive. It's that you are advertising it. Oh, this is great, this is great. You are attracted to it. But you are not saying how to attain it. The very process of hearing Krishna Katha will make it more attainable also. How do you attain Krishna Prema? By hearing Krishna Katha. You want a proof? Yasyam vaisruyamanayam Krishne paramapurushe bhaktir padyate vamsa. If you hear Krishna Katha, if you hear Bhagavatam, bhaktir padyate Krishne paramapurushe, a feeling of love for Krishna is attainable. Here Bhagavatam will attain Krishna Prema. Why people are not sufficiently attracted to this goal of Krishna Prema? Because not many people are speaking Krishna Katha. When we speak direct Krishna Katha, glorify Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Lila, then people will get attracted to this goal. Therefore, let's not hesitate to speak Krishna Katha. Our language may be poor, vocabulary may be poor, our presentation skills may be poor. That's okay. Speak Harikatha. As long as what we are speaking has some reference in Shastras, is bona fide, in line with the Acharyas, no problem. Speak Krishna Katha. We can inspire at least one soul, two souls, no problem. Even if you don't inspire anyone, we'll be purified. Right? That is guaranteed. That's why Maitreya Muni says, Tathapi kirtayam yanga yatha mati yatha shritam kirtim harehe swam satkartum giram anyabhidasatim. If I don't engage the power of my speech in glorifying Lord Krishna, it will remain unchaste. Just to make my power of speech chaste, I am speaking Krishna Katha. Okay. So this is fifth point. Fourth, sorry. Before that, Tava Kathamrutam Tatta Jivanam Kavibhiritam Kalmashapaham. Shravana Mangalam. 5 we have seen. Srimadatam Bhuvigrananti. Srimadatam means this Krishna Katha must be spread by Kavis to spread auspiciousness, to make the goal of Krishna Prema attainable and attractive. So those people who actually take up this endeavor are Bhurida Janaha. They are extremely benevolent benefactors of the entire universe. And those Bhurida Janaha are 2 types. Again from Chakravarti Path. One, those are actually speaking Krishna Katha. Second, those are arranging. Those are endeavoring to spread Krishna Katha, sitting in the background. We cannot give all the credit only to the speaker. There are so many people who are organizing Kathas. They are endeavoring so much to bring Vaishnavas together so that Krishna Katha can be discussed. A lot of arrangement is required for that also. Even they are also Bhurita Jana. They are also great souls. So, we have discussed Tava Kathamritam Shloka. And of course, it's Krishna Katha in general, nothing about Lila in specific, but it's applicable to Lila also. But let's focus more on Lila now. Tava Vikriditam Krishna Nrinam Paramamangalam Karnapiyoshamasādhyam Tyajantam Yaspraham Janah. We might say that, we might think sometimes that, oh, I'm not hearing Krishna Katha because I have so many problems, so many difficulties, so many tribulations in life. But Bhagavatam says, Tava Vikriditam Krishna Nrinam Paramamangalam. Earlier the Gopi said Shravana Mangalam. Now Uddhava says Paramamangalam. Supreme auspiciousness. It's created. It's created by hearing Krishna Katha. Karnapiyoshamasādhya. It's nectar for the ears. Tyajanti Anyaspraham Janaha. Why there is difficulty in this world? Because there is Anyaspraha. There is Anyaspraha. Means we are concentrating our minds in so many other things. They are corrupting our minds. They are contaminating our consciousness. Even Brahma says like this. In the 3rd canto of Bhagavatam, Brahma says, Kukathamati Ghnihi. You know that shloka? Yannavrajantyagha vido rachana anuvada shrinvanti enya vishaya kukathamati ghnihi yastu shrutahata bhagair bhiratasara tamstam kshipantya saraneshu tamassu hanta. Brahma is expressing his great concern for the conditioned souls. He says that Yanna Vrajanti, who will not enter Vaikuntha? person whose mind is completely contaminated by hearing all kinds of mundane, materialistic topics. Shrinvantiye anya vishaya kukatha matighni. Matighni means mind is corrupted by hearing anya vishaya, topics disconnected from Krishna, which are kukatha, that contaminates our consciousness. Then people will degrade. How much is the degradation? To what extent a person will get degraded by hearing material topics? Yastu shruta hata bhagair. All fortune is eradicated. Vibhiratta sara, essence of life is completely just gone. Tam stam kshipanti asharaneshu tamassu hanta. I will cast them into darkest regions of hell. To that degree, degradation can happen by hearing materialistic topics. Our consciousness is like water in a rice field. Water in a rice field must be retained nicely by raising mud banks on all four sides. If there is a leakage, all this water will not go to the actual rice plants that will flow outside. Or inside the mud bank, inside this field, there are so many weeds. If you don't pluck out the weeds, all this water will be taken away by the weeds and actual rice plants will not get nourishment. So we need to protect ourselves from the internal kalmasha and external kalmasha. Internal kalmasha of weeds and external kalmasha of kali kalmasha, external distractions, and focus that consciousness on Krishna Katha. Then Parama Mangalam. Tava vikriditam Krishna dhanam Parama Mangalam. Otherwise, Anyaspraha will just take us for a ride. Next. Let's enter Krishna Lila. In the 7th chapter of 10th canto of Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj speaks to Sukadeva Goswami. Because at the end of the 6th chapter of 10th canto, Parikshit Maharaj very nicely describes the pastime of Putra, Padbhyam Bhakta Hridistabhyam, big series of shlokas. At the end he says, Govinde Labhate Rati. So you will attain Govinda, Rati towards Govinda. And Parikshit Maharaj felt that why Sukadeva Goswami is giving a Falashruti here. Is he going to conclude the narration of Krishna's pastimes here? No, please elaborate. So he became so worried and excited to hear more and more of Krishna's childhood pastimes. Don't summarize. 9th canto, you summarize it so much. Sometimes when you read 9th canto, you can't figure out why this pastime is there. No, not many purports. Sukadeva Goswami also doesn't elaborate. Sometimes we cannot understand the import of one particular story in 9th canto because Sukadeva Goswami is super fast. He's excited to come to 10th canto. So Parikshit Maharaj says, don't summarize Krishna's pastimes. Already he said it. At the end of 10th canto, at the end of 9th canto, Sukadeva Goswami summarized Krishna's pastimes in a couple of shlokas. Parikshit said, not in a couple of shlokas, I want in 90 chapters. Again, after hearing Putana Moksha Lila, Parikshit Maharaj is again saying, don't summarize, I will tell you. I will tell you what are the effects of hearing Krishna Katha, especially Krishna's childhood pastimes, as per my understanding. If you accept my understanding, please elaborate, please describe Krishna Lila. He says, Yena avatarena Bhagavan Haririshvarah Karoti Karnaramyani Manognani Chanah Prabho Yat Shrinvato Paitiratir Vitrishna Sattvam Cha Shuddhyatya Chirena Pumsah Bhaktir Harau Tat Purushe Cha Sakhyam Tadeva Haram Vadamanya Sechet Yena Avatarena Bhagavan Haririshvara. That Bhagavan Hari Ishvara Krishna has performed so many leelas in so many avatars. They're all Karoti Karnaramyani. They're very, very enchanting to the ears. Karnaramyani. Manognani, enchanting to the heart also. Krishna's pastimes are very enchanting to the ears with their sound, to the heart with their meaning. I think Chakravarti says this in 10.1.4 purport. Nivritta Karshayat purport he says, Srotra Manobhiramat. With the meaning, Krishna Katha impresses the heart with the melody, with the sound, it impresses the ears.
Yes.
So now these two shlokas, as Prabhupada explains, are presenting 7 effects of hearing Krishna's childhood pastimes in specific. Number 1, Karoti Karna Ramyani, very pleasing to the ears. Manognani, very pleasing to the heart. 2. 3. Yet Shrinvato Apaiti Aratir Vikrishna. Apaiti Aratir, Arati means lack of attraction, no taste. Durdaiva Midrishamiha Jani Na Anuraga. That is Arati. Whatever Arati we have in our hearts towards hearing Krishna Katha will be destroyed by hearing Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's childhood pastimes. In general, hearing Bhagavatam may be little disinteresting to some people, but if they hear Krishna's childhood pastimes, oh, Bhagavatam is interesting, let's hear it. Krishna's childhood pastimes will induce that attraction towards Krishna Katha in general, right? So, Apaiti Aratir. With Krishna. Krishna means hankering, not a material hankering. Hankering to hear Krishna Katha. With Krishna means lack of hankering. Arati means lack of attraction only. Okay? With Krishna means all the people come and sit in the class, they are unable to taste it. Arati means they don't sit in the class only. Okay? With Krishna means they sit in the class, but they are unable to relish it. Class is going on, but still nothing is. Just like a North Indian wants to eat idli. First is arati. Idli, what is there in it? It seems very impersonal. There is no color, it's pure white. Without sambar or without chutney, you can't eat idli. Paratha you can eat without anything, accompaniment. There is arati towards idli. You to North Indian person. Somebody glorifies it, steamed food. You can easily digest it. So many glories they will say. Some kind of rati is attracted. They took it on the plate. They are eating. Still no taste. No Trishna, no Trishna. That is Vitrishna. So both will be destroyed. So somebody is not coming to the class. If they hear Krishna Katha, if they hear Krishna's Bali Lila, they will come to the class. Somebody sitting in the class but unable to absorb themselves. But if they hear Krishna's childhood pastimes, then they will absorb themselves better. Okay? 2 more efforts. First is Karoti Karnaramyani. Second is Manognani. Third is Apaiti Virati. Sorry, Apaiti Arati. Fourth is Apaiti Vitrishna. Fifth is Sattvam Cha Shuddhyati. Heart is completely purified. Here Sattvam refers to heart. Achirena Pumsaha. Very fast purification happens by hearing childhood leelas of Krishna. Then Bhaktir Harav, 6th effect is we will develop devotion unto Lord Hari. 5th effect, which we have discussed yesterday. We began our class yesterday with this, 7th effect. We discussed 6, right? 7th effect. Bhaktir Harav Tat Purushecha Sakhyam. Tat Purusha refers to Tatpara, refers to those people who are dedicated to Krishna. Krishna's devotees basically. Sakhyam. We will develop loving friendships with other devotees. Yeah. Yesterday we were discussing that. Friendship with other devotees by discussing Krishna Katha. What is that shloka? Atma Ramascha Manayo. Harer Gunakshipta Matihi Bhagavan Badarayani Adhyagan Mahadakhyanam Nityam Vishnu Janapriyaha. By absorbing his mind in Krishna's qualities, Sukadeva Goswami became Nityam Vishnu Janapriyaha. He became very dear to all devotees and all devotees become dear to him. Means loving relationships amongst devotees is possible by coming together and hearing Krishna Katha, discussing Krishna Katha. Same thing is mentioned here. Tat Purushecha Sakhyam Bhaktir Harav. You develop devotion to Krishna and on top of it, you will also develop friendships with Krishna's devotees. What else you want? Let's hear Krishna Katha, Krishna Lilas in the past, in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam. When a devotee is describing Krishna Katha and when you are hearing that devotee, you are developing appreciation to the devotee for his or her appreciation for Krishna. We discussed yesterday, I think. When you are describing Krishna Lila, Krishna Katha, then other devotee appreciates you for your attraction towards Krishna. So mutually you are developing, you are increasing your appreciation to Krishna so much, and you are also increasing your appreciation towards each other. So you are coming like this and like that. So you are going up also, you are coming closer to each other also. It's not just like this, parallel. Or it's not like this. Without Krishna element also people can come together. What is that? 6 loving exchanges amongst devotees. Dadati pratigranati guhyamakhyati prichyati bhunte bhojete cheva. These 6 loving exchanges are there. If these 6 loving exchanges are done without Krishna in the center, with materialistic people, we develop an emotional bonding there. But these 6 loving exchanges, if we do with devotees, with Krishna in the center, we develop bonding here. So, you want bonding with materialistic people or you want bonding with devotees of Krishna? So, it's a great entanglement. 6 loving exchanges are to be done with devotees only. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in his purports of Upadeshamrita says, 6 loving exchanges are not to be done with karmis or vikarmis or jnanis or yogis. 6 loving exchanges are meant only with devotees. And 6 loving exchanges plus discussion of Krishna Katha will bring us closer to each other. So these are the 7 effects of hearing Krishna's childhood pastimes. Parikshit Maharaj doesn't stop there. He speaks something ahead. Athanyadapi Krishnasya Toka Charitamad Manusham Lokamasadya Tajjatim Anurandhataha Athanyadapi Krishnasya Toka Charitamad Toka Charitam means Krishna's pastimes as a child are adbhutam, very wonderful. Why? Manusham Lokamasadya. He appeared as a human being in this material world. Tajjatim Anurandhataha. He is imitating the ways of ordinary human children. So therefore, this Krishna's childhood pastimes are very attractive. Prabhupada elaborates. He compares Krishna's childhood leelas with many other leelas of other incarnations and says these are very enchanting, very attractive. That's the effect of hearing Krishna's Balya Leela in specific. In Krishna's Putana Leela, Krishna showed the power of his lips. When Krishna killed Trinavarta, Krishna showed the power of his hands. When Krishna killed Shakatasura, he showed the power of his feet. He was crying for Mother Yashoda's attention. As it is natural for a baby, 3-month-old baby, to throw his hands and legs into the air while crying for Mother, Krishna imitated the activities of a 3-month-old baby and he also threw his hands and legs into the air. With the gesture of a kick, that little pravala-like tender foot of Krishna touched Shakatasura, touched the cart, and the cart overturned. It got dismantled and Shakatasura died. The peculiar aspect of Krishna's Leela is that there are so many energies of Krishna. So many energies of Krishna, Vibhuti Shakti, Lila Shakti, Satya Sankalpa Shakti, Kripa Shakti, so many Shaktis of Krishna are constantly surrounding Krishna and waiting for an opportunity to assist Krishna in his pastimes. Krishna, when he wants to perform this Leela, of Shakatasura Leela for example, he wouldn't put any endeavor on his side to kill Shakatasura. Because Krishna wants to get absorbed in his Leela with Yashodamata and Vrajavasis. As an infant baby, 3-month-old baby, he is just crying for mother's milk. That's all Krishna will do. And Krishna's Shakti would manifest in his feet. And that foot will touch the cart and that Shakti will kill the demon. And Krishna is just calling his mother. Death of Shakatasura is a byproduct. The main intention of Krishna is to call Krishna, Mother Yashoda. I am crying, you are not hearing me. My little sound is not audible to you. I will make bigger sound by dismantling this cart. So Krishna's loving exchange with his mother, Yashoda Mata, is the primary thing there. Killing of a demon is secondary. Similarly, Yashoda Mata is just picking up Krishna and then throwing Krishna into the air and then catching him, throwing it there and catching him. Sometimes children become a little fearful, and some children enjoy it. Krishna is enjoying it. He's enjoying so much that he wanted to go higher and higher. Yashodamata is only able to throw me into the sky just above the ground level, but I want to go 800,000 miles high into the sky. I want to go for a big ride. Just as Krishna desired like that, Trinavarta appeared there. Trinavarta's entrance into Vrindavan is not because of Kamsa. Apparently it is because of Kamsa. And when he came, Krishna killed him. But it's not like that. Krishna's Lila Shakti orchestrates all the incidents in Vrindavan in such a way that all the demons' entrance also is very much in line with Krishna's desires and Krishna's pastimes. When Krishna desired to go high, that time at which Krishna desired has coincided with this Trinavarta's entrance. Just like Krishna, Kaviraj Goswami explains in the Adi Lila of Chaitanya Charitamrita. He says that Krishna desired to experience the pleasure of Srimati Radharani. Tadbhavadhyaha samajanishachi garbhasindhu harinduhu. He desired to experience the pleasure of Srimati Radharani, adopt her mood and become a servant of Krishna instead of being Krishna. And the time at which he desired coincided with the time of establishing Yuga Dharma. Yuga Dharma is not the main reason. Establishing Yuga Dharma is not the main reason. The main reason is to relish Radha Bhav. Radha Bhavadyuti Subalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. So when Krishna desired to experience the mode of Radharani, that became the time of establishing Yuga Dharma. This transcendental orchestration of Krishna's Lila Shakti. Similarly, Krishna desired to go high, Trinavarta came there. And Krishna went high. Trinavarta was thinking that he is taking Krishna high. He doesn't understand. He's an instrument in Krishna's desires. He's an instrument in Krishna's Lila Shakti. His appearance is very much in line with Krishna's desires. He's being utilized in Krishna Lila. That is his fortune, by the way. To be an instrument in the hands of Krishna and Guru is our fortune. So, Trinavarta is fortunate in that way. That's why he is liberated. As simple as that. Why Krishna is liberating all the demons that he is killing? Because they are assisting him in his pastimes. They are instruments in Krishna's Lila Shakti. So, Trinavarta took Krishna high with an intention to kill Krishna and eat Krishna. But when he went 800,000 miles high, Krishna suddenly felt, my mother is crying, I want to go back to my mother. So his desire is to go back to his mother. Earlier he wanted to go higher than what his mother can lift him into the sky. But now he wanted to go back to his mother. Then what did he do? What did the energies do? Krishna became very heavy. Because of the influence of Krishna Lila Shakti, Krishna just held on to the neck of Trinavarta. As if a fearful child, when he is lifted high, he becomes very fearful and then he holds on to us, right? So he just hold on to this tender grip. You just hold on to our fingers, our hands, our shirt or something like that. That's how Krishna just held on to the neck of Trinavarta. And Krishna was looking like a blue locket hanging from Trinavarta's neck.
Oh, so
Blue locket. So this is how Chakravarti describes. And Trinavarta could not bear that weight. Trinavarta got collapsed. Where exactly did he collapse? Even before that, I think, shall I go a little?
Yes.
So, when Trinavarta came, he completely filled Vrindavan with Rajasa Tamasavartam, as we discussed yesterday. Dust and darkness filled entire Vrindavan. All the gopis and gopas were anxious for Krishna. They were trying to search where Krishna is. But Trinavarta has taken away their ability to search for Krishna by creating dust and darkness everywhere. You are trying to search for something. You have kept your phone somewhere, for example. Sometimes when you can't find phones now, Shunyayitam Jagat So when you are trying to search for a phone and the phone is not there, and somehow electricity went away. It may not happen here, it happens in GV. right? You are unable to find your phone. So when you are trying to search for an object that you want to search for, suddenly light also goes away. Everything is pitch dark in the night. You become even more frustrated. At least when light is there, you have some hope. I didn't find it in this corner, let me find it in that corner. I didn't find it in that corner, let me go to that corner. But light is also not there. Phone is taken away. Your searching ability is also taken away. It's more frustrating. All the gopis of Vrindavan and gopas of Vrindavan, they wanted to search for Krishna, but unfortunately, their ability to search was taken away. Because everything was dark. Nobody could see each other, nobody could hear each other. They are unable to hear each other because of sound, so much sound. Nobody could see each other because of so much of darkness and dust everywhere. They are rendered completely helpless. Krishna noted this. Krishna's energies are noted, whatever. Krishna noted this. He wanted to give same experience to Trinavarta also. Yethamam prapadyante tam sativa vayamyaham. When he went up, Krishna was hanging on the neck of Trinavarta like a blue locket, and Krishna increased his weight. Earlier, when Mother Yashoda was lifting him up, he became as heavy as a mountain peak. She kept him down. She went inside. When Trinavarta came, he became as light as a feather or a dry leaf. Trinavarta could easily pick him up. He went high into the sky. There, when Krishna felt separation from his mother, he was missing his mother, again Krishna became as heavy as a mountain peak. So, he was hanging on his neck. This time, Trinavarta was not holding Krishna. Krishna was holding Trinavarta. Right? Krishna was holding onto the neck of Trinavarta and he was hanging from his neck. He became as heavy as a mountain peak. When you lift some object, if it's very heavy, you cannot carry it, you can drop it. But when you are lifting a heavy object and your ability to drop that object is taken away, it's hanged around your neck, you are unable to throw it away also. How frustrating it is. You will scream in pain. But the problem is Krishna has taken away his screaming ability also. Because he held on to his neck. The weight is not tied to his hand. The weight is hanging from his neck. So he was completely choked. So much heavy weight, he is unable to throw it, he is unable to scream in pain also. Then his eyes popped out of their sockets. Trinavarta collapsed. Where did he collapse? If a flight takes off from Atlanta, some gate, some terminal, some gate, and if it crashes, what is the possibility of that flight again crashing back in the same airport, in the same terminal, at the same gate? No possibility, not very less, impossible. But Trinavarta airplanes crashed right in Vrindavan. Where exactly in Vrindavan? Right on a big boulder. Not destroying any goshalas or homes or gopas or gopis or cows or calves or peacocks. No human being or no animal or no bird was harmed. He crashed on a boulder. And where was the boulder? Right next to all the gopis of Vrindavan who were lamenting for Krishna. Krishna wanted to pacify the mothers of Vrindavan before the fathers. Right? All the gopas are also anxious. Gopis are also anxious. But the Vatsalya gopis' anxiety for Krishna is much more than the Vatsalya gopas' anxiety. Of course, they are also having parental affection, but Mother Yashoda, Rohini Mata and other gopis are more anxious. So Krishna wanted to pacify them first. And Krishna made Trinavarta fall on this boulder. All the limbs of Trinavarta got dislocated except his chest. See this? How much mass fiction? So the chest is a playground for Krishna to play. Therefore, this did not collapse. Everything else collapsed. Everything got dismantled. And the gopis came. See, your favorite iPhone is there. Fell somewhere. You are doing Govardhan Parikrama. The iPhone fell somewhere. And you found it finally. But you found next to a snake. Will you pick it up? No? Although it is your favorite phone, you hesitate it, right? You don't know whether the snake is sleeping or dead or alive, you don't know. You will not be able to pick it up. But as soon as the gopis of Vrindavan saw little baby Krishna on Trinavarta's dead body, they immediately came with absolutely no fear. They picked up Krishna. They picked up Krishna They were not even considering what will happen to us. They saw Krishna, they just picked it up, picked him up. So they brought Krishna to Mother Yashoda. Yashoda was lamenting there. And they were not giving Krishna to Yashoda Mata, 1-year-old baby. They were saying, Yashoda, you have no qualification to touch this boy, touch this child. My God, such a heavy statement. Yashoda Mata was bewildered. What happened? Why? Why is it so? Then the gopis said, when such a fierce whirlwind came, why did you leave this child unattended in the courtyard? Why can't you keep him inside home? Then Yashoda Mata very innocently said, my child was as heavy as a mountain peak at that time. I could not bear his weight, so I kept him down. Then the gopis said, your child is as heavy as a mountain? He is as light as a flower. We are holding him now. She had no answer. Naturally. What will she answer? So then the gopis chastised. Yashoda Mata was not thinking, he is my son. And I am Vrindavaneshwari. I am the wife of King Nanda. How can you chastise me? She understands their Vatsalya Bhav. She was not offended. She is concerned about Krishna. Finally, she took Krishna back into her lap. Of course, gopis would give all of the chastise out of concern for Krishna. So this is how Krishna's Shaktis serve Krishna in his pastimes. So Krishna wanted to do something in connection with the gopis or gopas. He wants to enjoy playing or stealing or something else. So Krishna's Shaktis will just manifest at the right time, do the needful there and then disappear. Just like Yashoda Mata was trying to bind Krishna. I think I have kept that picture also. I'll come to Damodar Lila little later. Let me complete this. Yashoda Mata wanted to bind Krishna. Krishna did not want to get bound. He has Ichcha Shakti. He has Satya Sankalpa Shakti. The Satya Sankalpa Shakti called Vibhuti Shakti. Come here, Krishna doesn't want to get bound. Then Vibhuti Shakti manifested in his belly. Okay? The opulence, the energy of Krishna's opulence. And Yashoda Mata is unable to bind Krishna. She's trying. She was unable to bind. Then finally Krishna looked at Mother Yashoda. Svamatuhu svinna gatraya visrasta kabarasraja drishtva parishramam Krishna kripayasit svabandhane. So Krishna saw the endeavor of Mother Yashoda. So much of hard work she is doing. She is perspiring. She is working hard since morning. She got up early in the morning, churning butter for Krishna and then fed Krishna and tried to save that Padavana milk. And Krishna created a big mess there by breaking pot, stealing butter, making her run in 100 different directions. So she's tired. So seeing her perspiring so much and endeavoring to bind him, Krishna felt very compassionate. Krishna said, okay, Mother Yashoda, you become bind. Means Krishna's Kripa Shakti manifested there. The king, the queen of all Krishna's energies, Kripa Shakti, when she manifests, all the other Shaktis have to take a low profile. Okay, just go away. Kripa Shakti is there. That is Bhakta Vashyata. That's why Krishna Chakravarti Thakur points out this shloka as the Paribhasha Sutra of Krishna Lila. He says, Trayyachopanishadbhischa Sankhya Yogaischa Satvataihi Upagiyamana Mahatmyam Harim Samanyatatmajam Trayyacha Upanishadbhischa. In all the Vedas, in all the Upanishads, in all the Shastras that are describing Sankhya Yoga, etc., Krishna is glorified as the supreme absolute truth. But Yashoda Mata just considers Krishna as her son. That is the Paribhasha Sutra of Krishna Lila. So all the opulence is kept aside. Even if Krishna exhibits his superhuman deeds, even if Krishna exhibits his godhood in front of everyone, Yashoda Mata will not consider Krishna as God. Even if Krishna shows entire opulence of the universe, entire universe within his belly, Yashoda Mata thinks that my son is haunted by some ghost or what? Is he deceased or what? What's happening? So she thinks that some Shakti of Krishna manifests there and tries to test the Vatsalya Bhava of Yashoda Mata. if we show if we manifest some opulence of Krishna, show extreme high degree powers of Krishna, how will Yashodamata respond? So this testing energy tried to test Krishna, test Yashodamata. What did Yashodamata do? She made the testing energy as her maid servant, as a subservient to her Vatsalya Prema. How? Because of the manifestation of that testing energy, Yashodamata's anxiety as a mother for Krishna increased. She became more concerned about Krishna. Krishna is deceased or what happened to my little child? This is how Krishna's energies function. Just to assist Krishna in his Leelas. They will manifest at a particular incident to make the necessary arrangements for Krishna's pastimes to take place, and they will just take a low profile. And Krishna is absorbed in his mode as an infant baby or a small child. He need not even accept his godhood. If he has to cry, he will cry. He will keep aside his godhood and he will cry when Mother Yashoda is chastising him. When Putana entered Vrindavan, how could Putana's Maya, how could Putana allure all the Vrajavasis, mesmerize all the Vrajavasis and enter even into the inner chambers of Nanda Maharaj's home? How could Yashoda Mata and Rohini Mata allow a stranger Putana to enter the maternity ward and pick up an infant baby, few days old baby, and feed him her milk? It's too much, right? Putana could never bewilder the Vrajavasis or Yashoda Mata or Rohini Mata. It is Krishna's Lila Shakti that bewildered all of them, not Putana. So it is Krishna's Lila Shakti who is doing all these Leelas. Oh, I kept it here only. We have to discuss Govardhan Lila and elaborate. But as a prelude, I'm just giving what's the time?
So there's no time.
We have it.
It is 5:50.
5:50. Okay. Any? Okay, fine. Gopyadade tvahi krita agasiddhavata damatavat
Gopyadage tvayi kritagasitamatavad
Yate dashashrukalilāñjana sambhramakṣam
Yate dashashrukalilāñjana sambhramakṣam
Vaktram niniya bhayabhavanaya sthitasya
Vaktram niniya bhayabhavanaya sthitasya
Samam vimohayati bhirapi yadbibheti
Samam vimohayati bhirapi yadbibheti.
Krishna was bending his head low in front of Yashoda Mata. Just like a criminal bends his head low in front of a judge. In this court of Vrindavan, Yashoda Mata is the judge and Krishna is the criminal. And Krishna's future is completely in the hands of Mother Yashoda. She can say, no toys for you, no milk products for you, no butter for you, no playmates for you, no movement for you. I will tell you. Krishna has to submit. Thank you, my dear mother. Whatever you say. Samam vimohayati bhirapi yadbibheti. Even fear personified becomes fearful of Krishna, and that Krishna becomes fearful of a little stick in Yashodamata's hands. So Krishna is bhakti baddham. This is the Leela of Krishna. Iti driksva leela bhirananda kunde svadosham nimajjantam akyapayantam
Tvaliye siddhatneshu bhakte jitatvam Puna prematastam shatavriti vande.
In this way, Krishna is performing enchanting Leelas like Damodar Leela, Vardhabhakshana Leela and others. Swalila bhir ananda kunde swaghosham nimajjantam. He is immersing all his dear associates in pools of ecstasy, in lakes of bliss. And announcing to all these people, see, this is how I do Leelas with Vrajavasis. You are attracted to other Leelas where I manifest my majesty, grandeur and opulence. Here are my Leelas of simplicity and innocence, where I keep aside my godhood and perform Leelas. When God identifies himself as God and performs some Leelas, there is some sweetness in it. But when God keeps aside his godhood and performs some Leelas, there is more sweetness in it. When God keeps aside his godhood, there is more ecstasy. That's what Damodar Leela is depicting. And all Vrindavan Leelas actually. In Damodar Leela, Krishna relinquished so many of his opulences. One is his Atmaram, he became Stanyaka. He's Purna Manoratha. He became Atripta. He's not happy. You wanted to hear a few words from me, Prabhu?
It's a bad headache, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can see.
Please, please,
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
sorry.
We'll miss you. Thank you. Please take care. Hare.
Hurting me. Please excuse me.
Yes. His Grace Amarinder Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
We'll miss your auspicious parents. Yes. Yes.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Hare Krishna. हाँ. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
He is Vishuddha Sattva Vigraha, but Krodha manifested in him. He is Kala personified and he became Atanka Netra. He is the fastest. Even yogis cannot catch him, and a simple gopi caught him. He is absolute truth, but he is speaking lies. He is all blissful, but he is crying, sobbing. Rudantam muhur netra yugam jantam. He is the supreme judge, but Yashodamata is judging him. He is the object of all prayers, but Yashodamata is scolding him. He is the supreme controller, but he is being bound. He controls everybody, but he is controlled by love. Prema Vashyata. Devotee becomes greater than God. Even for argument's sake, purposes, even for argument's sake, you consider that Mayavadis become equal to the Lord. They become God. But the devotee becomes greater than God. Who is better? This is Prabhupada's thing. Even in the Lila of Kaliyanath, you see, Kaliya completely coiled Krishna, embraced Krishna, very tight embrace of Krishna. Okay, for 48 minutes. For one muhurta, Kaliya completely arrested Krishna in his coils. All the Brajavasis were standing on the shore of Yamuna lake and they were feeling extreme amount of anxiety. They were anxious of Krishna. Why did Krishna allow that to happen? Why Krishna is giving so much of anxiety to all the Brajavasis who are his dearest eternal associates? Why is it so? Why Krishna had to allow Kaliya to completely bind him, arrest him? Can't Krishna release himself? In one moment he could have killed him or at least subdued him or banished him, but he did not do that. Because Krishna is tasting the ecstasy of their anxiety. When a devotee sees Krishna very happy, devotee becomes happy and he experiences ecstatic bliss. But when Brajavasis see Krishna in troubles, attacked by some demons, their anxiety for Krishna increases and that anxiety is another manifestation of their love, where it becomes intense. Just like when the child is happily playing, mother is happy. But when the child has some fever or some disease, mother's anxiety for the child increases, and in that situation, the child can experience an intensified love of mother, and mother can experience more intensified love towards the child. So in such situations of anxiety or pain, the love between the lover and the beloved will increase, will be enhanced. So Krishna wanted to experience that intensified anxiety of the gopis, where their love just touched sky. And at one point Krishna realized after one muhurta, if I continue like this, they will die out of their anxiety. So let that not happen. So Krishna allowed Kaliya to release himself. Krishna released himself from Kaliya's bondage and subdued him and encouraged them. So sometimes Krishna can create situations of separation, situations of anxiety for his devotees, and he will relish the intensified love of his devotees. He only made them anxious. In their anxiety, their love for him increased, and he's tasting that love. This is the speciality of Krishna Lila. And Krishna subdued Kaliya. Another important aspect. Kaliya was just embracing Krishna very tightly. After that, Krishna danced on the hoods of Kaliya, just pounding on the hoods of Kaliya very, very heavily. Whichever head doesn't submit to Krishna, Krishna would just jump on that head and dance. One aspect is, it's a slippery stage and Krishna is dancing in perfect harmony, and all the upper planetary system residents, they are playing musical instruments so much, and Krishna is dancing to their footsteps, to their music. All that is great. But another important aspect of this pastime is, Kaliya got the embrace of Krishna. Kaliya got the dust from Krishna's lotus feet on his head. Still, till Nagapatnis came and offered prayers to Krishna, Krishna did not actually show mercy on Kaliya. Even if he received dust from Krishna's lotus feet, even if he received the embrace of Krishna or embraced Krishna for 48 minutes, still without devotees' prayers he will not get mercy. The real mercy of Krishna is accessible and attainable only by devotees' grace. So Kaliya's example depicts that. And the gopis are playing. Vishajala
Varasamarutat Vaidutadalat Vrishamayatmajat Vishwato Bhayat Rishabhatevayam Rakshitamoho.
Vishajalapyaya Gyala Rakshasa. Vishajala. Krishna, you protected us. In many of your Leelas, you protected us from these poisonous waters. And Vyala Rakshasa, this Aghasur demon. Then Varshamarutat, you protected us from Indra's heavy rain. And Vaidyutanalat. Vaidyuta means these lightning bolts of Indra. Analat, fierce winds in Govardhan Lila. And also, Vaidyutanalat can also refer to the Stranavarta demon and forest fire. Vrisha Mayatmajat. Vrisha is Arishtasura demon. Mayatmajat means Vyomasura demon. Right? Vishwato Bhayat Rishabhate Vayam Rakshitamuhu. In this way, Krishna protected the Brajavasis by performing so many enchanting leelas of killing demons. But killing demons is only a pretext, only a byproduct. The main product is protecting devotees, enjoying with devotees. In fact, all the demons of Vrindavan that Krishna killed in the forest are just the Leela Shakti's ways of creating lunch breaks. These boys are so much absorbed in their games that they forget their lunch. Then what does the Leela Shakti do? He will send some demon. And the demon will kill. Krishna will kill the demon. And after that the boys will remember, we have to take lunch. Then they will go on the bank of Yamuna and take their lunch. So they are lunch breaks. Demon killing is not the main thing in Vrindavan. Although there are so many demons in Vrindavan. The main thing is Krishna's pastimes. So this is how the Shaktis of the Lord, Leela Shaktis of the Lord will create ecstasy. And coming to the main Rasa Leela, Sukadeva Goswami says, with this we'll conclude and take break. 6 o'clock we need to take break, right?
Okay.
That's the schedule, right?
Yes.
Vikriditam Brajavadhubhiridam cha Vishnoham
Vikriditam Brajavadhubhiridam cha Vishnoham
Shraddhanvito nusruniyat athavarna yedyaham
Shraddhanvito nusriyat athavarnayedyah
Bhaktim param bhagavati pratilabhya kamam
Bhaktim param bhagavati pratilabhya kamam
Hridrogamasvapahrino tyachirena dhiraham
Hridrogamasva pihinoti yachirena dhirah.
Vikriditam Brajavadhubhiridam cha Vishnu. The epitome of all Vatsalya pastimes is Damodar Lila. The epitome of all Madhurya pastimes is Rasa Lila. And what is the effect of hearing this Rasa Lila pastimes of Krishna? Not everyone can hear. But one who hears with proper qualification, especially one who hears them after going through the first 9 cantos of Bhagavatam, not directly jumping into Rasa Panchadhyaya, but after having systematically gone through the initial cantos of Bhagavatam and hearing from bona fide sources, then in their systematic study they come to this episode. Then that hearing of Krishna's Madhurya pastimes will destroy any lust within our hearts. Shraddhanvito anusruniyat athavarna yedyah. With Shraddha, with faith, if we hear these pastimes, or if we glorify these pastimes, if we describe these pastimes, bhaktim param, we'll get transcendental devotional feelings towards Krishna. Bhagavati pratilabhya kamam hrudrogamasam. All the hrudrogam, the disease of the heart which is lust, is completely destroyed. Lust will be destroyed, love will be developed by hearing these pastimes. Alaukakitah kilalokikiyam.
Alaukikita kilalokikiyam.
Lila harereti rasayanatvam.
Lila harereti rasayanatvam.
Leelavatārānu kathāni mridvi.
Leelavatārānu kathāni mridvi.
Vishvasya srishtyādi katha palikni.
Vishvasya srishtyādi katha palikni.
This is a very exciting shloka. Not that you give up the initial cantos, but just to show some comparison, taratamya. Alaukakitaha kila laukikiyam lila harer eti rasayanatvam. Krishna's leelas, Hari's leelas, as a cowherd boy in Vrindavan, are so enchanting. Krishna's pastimes as a human child are very enchanting. That the greatness or the sweetness of these Krishna's human pastimes would surpass the greatness and sweetness of Krishna's Srishti pastimes. Vishvasya Srishti Adi Katha. Srishti, Sthiti, Laya pastimes are there, which Krishna does through the forms of Purushavasaras and Gunavataras. Those pastimes are not as attractive as Krishna's human pastimes. That's what the shloka says. Leelavatārānu kathāni mridvi. So the leelas of Krishna as a human being are more relatable, more accessible, more down to earth, they give more life lessons for us to relish and imbibe and practice and implement in our lives. But others like Srishti Lila, all this cannot create such an impact. That's what is mentioned here. And we'll discuss more such leelas once we come back. We'll take break. And once we come back, I think we'll spend some time taking questions. There's no end to this. Last 3 days, and I feel very bad that although yesterday I promised that we'll take some questions. I extended 1 hour. Later we on 10 also. So once we come back, we can even take some questions instead of continuing the katha, whichever you prefer.
Then we can continue for some time.
Then we'll take questions.
And then we can start questions.
Okay, sure. I'll speak maybe half an hour and 1 hour questions, something like that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your patient hearing.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Jai.
Haribo. So dear devotees, please stay here. We'll serve prasadam over here. And then we will resume the class. Hare Krishna.